So today on our Inspiring Conversations, we are speaking to Raghav Mimani. He is the CEO of Nischint, a cybersecurity and device management company for schools and for personal use. Hi, Raghav.
Hi, Bindhu.
Now,
How are you
Raghav,
doing?
good. Raghav, you wanted to call yourself this. So I'm going to say it there. You call yourself a corporate dropout. I'm sure there's a lot of people who would be like, wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, I mean, I just formulated that cool thing. Just that is 4.5, 5 years work to sound cool. But in these times, I would suggest don't go for that adventure. If you have a corporate job and hopefully you're doing well, stick there. Yeah.
Okay, that's your first piece of advice, looks like. But I have known Raghav for
Uh,
many years, and kindly know that he's a fantastic sense of humor, very self-deprecating, but it's lots of fun to have a conversation with him. And every time I've had a chat with him, always Raghav leaves me full of laughter, giggles, and a big smile on my face with new ideas. So I'm really delighted to have you on our Inspiring Conversation series, Raghav.
Thanks a lot, Bindu. As they say, if you've made one person smile, you've kind of made it in life. So I think that is a huge green tick in my life. I've made you smile. That's it. End of
And you
story.
always do.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pleasure.
So, Raghav, as an entrepreneur, in this last couple of months, it's been crazy for everyone. I want to know from an entrepreneur perspective, how has it been for you?
Uh, Honestly, it's been it started off like obviously a big shock. I mean, suddenly things happened, and you had planned a lot of things, and a lot of things positive was happening for us because we work with schools in terms of, giving this cybersecurity software for their kids and essentially helping them manage devices when they are in school. Schools getting shut off, that means all our customers, like you said, that if the kids are not in school, what do we do with software? And the entire economy going in that condition. So parents not being able to pay fees or demanding a fees reduction, schools having a tough time keeping up with their payrolls. So it means basically in a week of time or 2 weeks time, everything kind of crashed, bumped, and a lot of big groups that were supposed to come on groups are suddenly just closed doors on our face, saying that, what, let's talk only when we get into some sanity. We have to get the whole e-learning space up and running first, and then we will only talk about any kind of cybersecurity. And to be honest, school said, if you want, you go to your parents directly, but don't talk to us because we are right now not bothered. We want to ensure that this uh, e-learning piece is going to get in place.
Right.
Yeah, so that really shook us. And then personally, my development team is in India, and two people got tested positive within the team. So that kind of set the entire team into back foot. But we supported them. We got out of it. They were quarantined. Now they're, touch wood, all healthy, back to work. So, and then we had to also uh, reduce pay, make it there's a reduction pay by 50%, and basically zero pay for the management team and everyone. So that also came as a setback because ultimately expenses are still there to run family and the entire 360-degree. So yeah, it was a pretty tough time. I kind of personally went into a space that it's all going to come crashing down, and I went into a space that it's never going to pick up, and I don't know how I'm going to survive. And there were promises made to shareholders, to employees, which were just not going to happen at all. So I think the mistake, one of the mistakes on hindsight when I look at it, and to be very honest, is I kept the communication kind of off for some time. In the sense, didn't communicate the entire situation of what I was feeling and speak to a lot of people. But then I got over it in a couple of weeks, and took a decision that whatever it, let's face it, like the whole world, let's face it upfront.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's what happened from a business wise.
Or
Yeah.
business wise. So I can
Mm.
sense that as an entrepreneur, it was not at all easy. If all of us found it tough, there was a completely different angle that you were facing when the whole thing just hit all of us. We didn't even realize this was the
Yeah.
gravity of the situation, honestly, right? Right at the beginning.
Yeah. We did not. We thought maybe week, 2 weeks, things will become normal. Come on, how can the world be like that? But here we are, 2, 3 months completely locked down.
And then what did you do then?
So, after like 2 weeks of, I can say now, whining and crying, or being in the dumps, I said, you know what, let's look at opportunities that we have. So I kind of, more than business, I started looking for the personally, that, what can I do first to myself to really pick up, Nischint, and really pick up the entire ecosystem in general, and obviously friends and family as well. So some personal journey that I took up is I was really overweight. I had gained a lot of weight ever since thing. So I completely changed my diet, and in past 2.5 months, I lost 12 kgs of weight,
Wow.
and I started running. I started a lot of exercise, and that gave me a lot of internal strength to look at it positively. Because I think I was going into a very pessimistic domain, very negative domain, and the only way out of it was going to be to pull your socks up, to, as I say, charity begins with you. So do something for yourself, and then suddenly I started looking at opportunities. And what happened really magically, we had a great idea, and we are now selling Nischint to parents directly, and helping them with e-learning. So something that is like a brand new feature for us is something called a focus zone. What it
Mm-hmm.
does in two sentences is, as soon as your child is on e-learning, anything that is like notification, other apps disappears. So it's a focused time when they are doing e-learning.
Okay.
Because at that point of time, although we understand screen time is high, but as parents, they want to utilize this, that it is being only used for education and not for games, right?
Correct. Yes.
And we gave it away to 30 doctors for free, and they started loving us, saying that, because they were the corona warriors. So I reached out to them and said that, what, we would like to help you with your education. And they took it up, they wrote great testimonials, and now we are in a situation of going directly and scaling that up. So something that we changed, in due course of time, that we want to help e-learning become more secure, more focused. So that's how it came across.
That is so interesting, the story that you've just said, because it's got so many elements in there. So I heard the struggle as an entrepreneur, and how you kind of changed direction from just focusing on, oh my God, things are not going well in my business, to how can I look at myself? Like you really turned inwards and made
Yep.
those changes in yourself, as
Yes.
like putting myself first. And that I kind of see turned your view into moving from struggling to surviving, and then moving into looking at opportunities, and then
Correct.
jumping up and thriving.
Yes. And you have a way of words, and you can put it in better words than anybody else, but with the adjectives, vocabulary that you have. Okay, so yeah, essentially that. But what I realized is that you're the kind of the engine, and if you start treating yourself as the epicenter of, let's say, business, personal, life, health, money, as epicenters of those things, and take real responsibility, a lot of things really start moving. Yeah, so that's what I said. First, you are the epicenter of yourself. So let's start with yourself. 5 years back, I used to be running. I used to be a half marathoner, and one domain that took so much importance of in your life kind of made me lose myself for a very long time of who I was, what I really wanted to do. And so this time off from work, or forced time off from work, gave an opportunity that, okay, let's refocus, rejuvenate, refresh, and relaunch yourself
Yeah.
into a probably new arena.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll call that Raghav 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I do know that
Yeah.
fitness enthusiast who suddenly was like, oh my gosh, I don't have time for this. And then it's really nice to see that you picked yourself up at a time where think there's a lot of struggle, and you saw that, yes, I can now focus on myself and let me see what I can do from
Yep.
here. So
Yep.
it's
Yep.
about picking and looking at your core you.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
Absolutely.
what else?
And
Go ahead.
and I think that's one of the advice to everyone else, that pretty much the answer lies within you. It's just finding out within yourself what you really like, pursue it with honesty and passion, and it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Yeah.
Yes. And it's like telling ourselves, this too shall pass.
This too shall definitely pass. And but what I realize is that this time with yourself is going to be very seldom. So make most of it, with your families, with your kids, with your spouses. Make the most of it. And because now, to be very honest, I have kind of, when I've started going to work, this thing, kind of have withdrawal symptoms, that, what, I think I'm missing home. So because it's been some time, right? You've been working from home, doing a lot of things with home. Your family members, your kids are seeing you. So yeah.
and and I also realized that this time is so precious because everybody is just under the same roof, and then you can't run away somewhere. There's no work or school, or I go to the supermarket or meet a friend or just go out, whatever. So none of
Hmm.
that happening. There's a lot of connection that is going on within the family unit, and the more we start looking one at ourselves and then at our own family, it creates so many precious memories that I'm sure years
Absolutely.
down the lane we look back at and we'll be like, wow, that brought up so many different angles.
Yeah, it's like your kids are also asking you, why are you going to work? I mean, now they're in the so domain that, hey, you are supposed to be working from home, and they've kind of, thought that now this is the new normal, that you work from home. What, who goes to office anyways?
Exactly.
Now they're asking you, why are
Yes,
you going to office?
true, true. And today's kids, what they see, the younger ones, I'm sure they're looking at us and saying that, why do you have to step out? Everything can be done in the house.
Done. Correct.
Education comes to me. Everything comes to me. Why do you need to go out? How old
Absolutely.
fashioned.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah.
So, any other things that you've tried in the last 2, 3 months while you looked inward? So you got back into fitness and a lot of connection with your family. What else?
You mean other than burning rotis and trying my hat at cooking? Actually, I started cooking, and I loved doing couple of dishes. But I think the most innovative one that I did was an omelette Maggie.
Okay, tell us.
And so don't ask me for the steps, huh, please. But
You
but
made it.
I'm whatever. I'm a YouTube cooker. I think, is there a terminology? Could be, right. Hashtag YouTube cooker, maybe.
Yes.
So hashtag YouTube. Okay. So yeah, I looked up somebody doing something very innovative, and I cooked for my family. I did a omelette Maggie, and that came out pretty well, fortunately. and that's something which I found really stress busting. But I think on the business domain, um, within the past 2 weeks, uh, six of us from different regions started a company and formulated the concept, established it, registered it, put the website out, put the social media out, and got a corporate sponsorship for running an entrepreneurial course for kids. It's called Skill Sutras,
Uh-huh.
and it's going to be the website domain is there, but we'll have the content up very soon. And we just connected on WhatsApp on a networking thing, came up with it, and all of us are now established in that company. I think that within the past 15 days, we realized that business doesn't necessarily mean being physically there, or we haven't even met each other. We were just connected on a WhatsApp group called Startup Lanes.
Mm-hmm.
And this idea was floated on that group that, there should be an edtech thing, and, we should teach entrepreneurship to kids. Interested people just say a yes, give a thumbs up. I just gave a thumbs up. And then, things just followed. So within the past 2 weeks, we've formulated something of a business, established it, as I said, everything up and running. And, so that was a revelation that you can actually do that. And now I'm part of that group or part of that company. And I lead the technical bit of it. And we all are co-founders. And with
Wow, that is
literally,
great. This is like, just listen to your own stories, like our struggle to starting off with a new company, which is sounds awesome.
yeah. And that is also following a little bit of my passion about impacting the next generation, teaching them something which we all have learned, and more importantly, how to unlearn and relearn. I think there are a lot of things being taught to children, but what we realize that you cannot teach anything to anyone until unless they learn it.
Yes.
So that's the whole endeavor. We give you all the learning opportunities about entrepreneurship, and I think the way the world is going to go is you will have to be, and one way or the other, be responsible for your own self as a freelancer or something.
Yeah. So that, yeah, that
Yeah.
is the way these kids are
So
going to see the world. So better start right now and teach and get them to learn the skills. Yeah.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, I can hear you. Can you?
Sorry, I lost you in between.
Okay. So I think better now to actually get the kids to learn the skills that are probably important to them 10 to 20 years down the lane when they're going to be out there. So that's
Yep.
that's
Yep.
super lovely. I'm going to ask you to tell us, like we've discussed so many different things that I can take away from here. What would you, knowing, having all the information that you have right now, what would you
Hmm.
tell yourself 3 months down, 3 months before, on what you could have done? Like now we have all the information right now. So what
Yep.
advice would you give yourself 3 months before?
3 months before, I would say that I would say that stop the whining and crying. Stop, putting yourself in a dump. If you've fallen, quickly get up and get moving. It's like a heartbreak. If you've ever been in love and had a heartbreak kind of thing. So just move on as fast as you can. Uh, Really, the world doesn't have time.
Yeah. So just
So
pick yourself.
just pick yourself as fast as possible. I think a lot of very successful people, if you look back, you realize that they really pick up themselves very fast. They get over disappointment and heartbreak really, really fast.
Mm. And that's what we would tell you,
And
that they
yeah,
would.
and although this might sound like a cliche, but behind that adversity is a lot of opportunity.
Absolutely. And that's what I think we're going to see moving ahead as we move into
Yeah,
post-COVID.
yeah.
A lot of
Okay,
opportunities.
just for the record, I did a kind of stand-up comedy as well. That's
Aha!
when,
Okay, that's another thing that you tried.
yeah,
Wow! So you've really tried your hand at different things over the last couple of
yeah, yeah, yeah,
months.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing that, Raghav.
Hopefully, I can make other people laugh as much as I do to you. But let's see, let's see.
Okay,
Hopefully soon. Hopefully
lovely,
soon.
lovely. And where can people find you when if they want to find more information?
The best place to connect with me would be LinkedIn. Just search Raghav Mimani. You should be able to find me, or on Facebook as well. If you go to our website, nischint.com, nischint.com, you can, through the website, also connect to me, write to me, write to our on the website, and it comes to me. So uh, I'll be happy to connect with whoever wants any kind of help, support, entrepreneur or not, uh, whatever little way we can help.
Lovely, lovely. Thank you so much, Raghav, for such an
Most
inspiring
welcome.
conversation.
Most welcome, Bindhu. Always a pleasure.
And that was a story, very, very inspiring, of an entrepreneur who struggled, stopped, made changes in his personal life, picked himself up, tried some different things that would inspire him, and is now on his way to survive and thrive, seeing the opportunities ahead. Hope this left you inspired as much as it did for me. Until we meet next time, stay safe and stay inspired.